Okay. Alright, yeah, now the mic should be working. I pushed the unmute button and something didn't unmute. Oh well, it's kind of come to my attention that the audio and such has not been playing properly. Especially out of the games and things like that. Hopefully I got that corrected tonight. I'm going to keep an eye on it this time. But anyways, let's get back into Overwatch and finish up this weekly as fast as we can. The wife has a need for the microphone. Let me load up just a... These things see. Okay, yeah, I'm seeing desktop audio playing now. Okay, so hopefully everybody can actually hear the game now. Oh my gosh. Oh boy. Yeah, it's a shame. I've been doing this all this time. I was noticing on the other videos, like, why can't I hear anything? I thought it was just maybe a bug in the thing. And I know one of them I got it working, but... Alright. See, people gotta tell me when that happens. Boy. I hate playing her. Yeah.
That enemy has taken
I'd say that match was going terribly for them. Of course, again, I saw Hanzo. Yeah. I had to tell that people, but you do not want to use Hanzo and capture the flag unless you know what you're doing with him. And so oftentimes, like, oh, you play Hanzo. Snipers are not that valuable unless they're really good. And I so rarely see somebody that actually is. The ones that often are, I always have to question, are you using a hack or something? That's because they can be very... like when you see like a snap aim where they instantly aim right to a target and they get the headshot, boom, 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 snap, 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 just jumping around like that. That's always a question. It's always one where you forward it to Blizzard. Speaking of Blizzard, though, they did announce World of Warcraft Burning Crusade Classic, which we all kind of knew they were going to do. They want money, and Burning Crusade was probably the highlight, or, well, it's a toss-up between Burning Crusade and Lich King, which one was really like the peak of World of Warcraft and game rating. I'd say some of the best fun times I had were in Burning Crusade. As an MMO player, I mean, I did many years in WoW, Burning Crusade, Lich King, Cataclysm. Cataclysm I stayed for a little bit into it, and then it just was ugh. And Blizzard follows, well, they follow this mentality where it's like, okay, we gotta make everything accessible to everybody. Everybody has to be able to do something. Well, the problem is that you make it so that there's no uniqueness to any character or any class, and hurts things, hurts gameplay. Yeah, they're going up the middle. Not do that. sure we have enough healers for this. It's a bad idea. Yeah. There's not much you could do there. One, it's like we were all in a choke point. Everything's piling in there. Very little you could have done with that. Although we are showing to have the better. Okay, healer, you may want to heal me. You know, I really would love a Lucio to not do that every single minute. It's like, come on, buddy. Guy really needs to wait until he has some assistance here. Why would you blow your high noon right there? Okay, I am really tired of no heal support on that. Now that one of them switches to a tank. This guy is just being really annoying over here. Okay. Watch, you're gonna switch next. Why is our monkey staying behind? That was a good move by Lucio there. The guy hit his ult and it did not work. McCree keeps on hitting his ult and then wasting it. Yeah, they switched up to a rocket girl. Crucial turret placement. Yeah. Okay. Sometimes when you can't get it with brute force, you gotta try another method. What was that, like 1 kill? Maybe you got the second one. That's the trouble with snipers like that. I mean, you're literally taking a player out of the pool, and what, for like 1 kill? Like 1 single kill. You're getting that 1 kill. You might get it over and over, but you're not getting a chain of them oftentimes, especially not in CTF. Unless you can get everybody through a choke point, but then that means you have to get in close, and that's usually where the snipers get themselves killed. Ugh. It's nice we have working audio now. Go back on the old videos. People say, why isn't the audio working? Well, wait till one of the later videos we finally figure out what was going on. Anyways, yeah, go back to Blizzard, World of Warcraft, MMOs, and I say to Cataclysm, I was always a big dungeon and raider, more like dungeon player, but other people were like, oh, they like questing, they like crafting, like all those things, but I was more of dungeon one, and then it's transferred into raiding. And Cataclysm, the reason why Cataclysm sucks so bad, and it wasn't that it wasn't interesting and fun in the questing. There were some really neat quests, there were some really awesome little things like that, but they ruined the dungeons. And it was not just like the loot issue, because the loot issue is one thing. I mean, you'd be running these dungeons and you'd be going for like blues, which were like terrible at best. They were not very good loot, and they're saying, well, you gotta run your dungeons to get this loot, and says, well, what's the point? There's no really reward to run them. I mean, in World of Warcraft, classic World of Warcraft, Blizzard, Burning Crusade, Lich King, you would run the dungeons. There would always be a chance for something really nice. There would be blues, that's generally what you would have, but the later dungeons you'd get purples, and the incentive for rewards would really kind of go up. Okay. Let's see, we have 2 lobies on our side, 3 on the other side. Okay. This might be doable. It really was where Blizzard messed it up, though. I mean, you did not have good reward for the amount of time you have to wait, especially if you were a DPS class. If you were tanks or healers, you got groups all the time. You could quest really fast, and there would be no issue. But DPS, you'd sit there in a queue for like maybe an hour, sometimes more, hour and a half, trying to get a group. And oftentimes you would get a group, and then the tanks or the healers would just, they got this arrogance to them. They got very, very arrogant, and they were just like, well, you're not worthy of us, so we're just going to drop. So we'd get into the dungeon after waiting that long, and they would drop. And they would leave us all to rot. And at that point, it was just like, seriously, guys? They're going defensive posture. Gotta keep this Bastion busy at all costs. That's a funny one. See, a lot of that there was healers. You gotta kill the healers. Yeah, and they had a pretty neat idea there. They knew which way we were going, and they were trying to flank us, trying to get around. It was actually a pretty good strategy. And they had the Bastion set up at a good point. You gotta get those healers knocked down. Yeah, that's not good. Lost both tanks. Healers and DPS are taking too much damage there. I'm not going to let them do that again. Yeah, they were setting up that deal with that healer again. Taking too long here. Hey! That one's handy. Okay, I'll give that one a little heads up. They were helping at times. One healer. Yeah, 3 gold medals. So anyways, it was like Cataclysm was definitely a loot issue. That was the thing that started, and then there was the difficulty of it too, because the fights were just insanely like they tuned things up really high. And Blizzard's response to the loot issue was, well, you should run dailies to get all your loot. And it was like, okay, so you want people to do a daily grind just to get the loot so they can do other content, when they should be just going into dungeons and getting that loot so they can do the other content. It's like it's a boring grind versus something interesting, something different, and so they completely ruined that balance. And I remember our guild, we were top 15, top 20 guild on Whisperwind, and in the raiding scene anyways, we were one of the higher ones up on the Alliance side though. I think in the Alliance we were like top 10. Horde, there was some others higher, but yeah, we lost like most of our raid team. Everybody was just like, this sucks. We cannot take this. This is not fun for us anymore. It's becoming a job. And so they left, and I eventually finally like left. I was like, this is stupid, because our raid team is starting to get in. They need raiders, and I'm not geared, and they're telling me the only way to get geared is to do the dailies, and I'm just like, I don't like doing it, and I wasn't getting any help. They said, well, you should already be geared and all these things. I'm like, well, what? I'm sitting in a queue for hours upon hours to get one possible dungeon run that doesn't go anywhere. It's because a tank was like, well, you're too plebe for me, so go away. Because they can get constant queues, whereas this is the DPS, which can't do anything. So instead of switching to a tank and leveling up a tank, I just was like, I'm done. I left it and went over to Old Republic. At that time, I think Old Republic was still in beta or something. Yeah, we were testing the beta. I got into the early alpha or late alpha or something, closed alpha. Yeah, that game had so much potential, though. Old Republic, I'd say the best time was like the first year or two of release. Before it was really kind of before EA got their hands on it, and EA started going, well, you're not making as much money as you should, so we're gonna get involved. And then they added the free-to-play stuff and the cartel system, and they, instead of catering to interesting content that would keep people coming back, they just decided, well, let's just do tank and spank stuff, easy content that everybody can play. We want everybody to play this. We want everybody to feel like super powerful and all this sort of stuff. So they completely got rid of some of the more interesting aspects of Old Republic and ruined it, and ran a guild there for quite a few years. And this is basically a dead match here. Okay, that was silly.
The enemy has taken. Recovered his land.
Much as I want to heal these guys, they're wasting heals on them right now.
The enemy has taken.
Hey, Widow, you dumb bitch. The flag was directly below you. You're a gold border. Okay. Oh my god. The flag was dead ass. Alright.
And see, that's why you don't play sniper and capture the flag. You're literally useless. People get mad at you more than others because, like, okay, what are you doing? You're not. Are you supporting? Do you have a firing angle? Are you getting headshots like every single time they stick their head out? No, if you cannot do that, do not play sniper. And I did not see it. And they were saying, hey, come on, the flag's underneath. Drop down, grab it, cap. I don't want to do it. Yeah. Yeah, we ran Guild in Old Republic for a few years. We kind of ran it until BioWare just, they wouldn't fix the content. So we got into some fights where literally all we could do was just hope that the game didn't kill us because there was no way to do it. I mean, there was no way you could stack gear. There was no way you could do anything. It's like if the fight decided to arbitrarily kill you, it would. And I know some of the top guilds, and we were top 5 on Bergerac Colony. It got us up to top 5. We were not a big giant guild. We were just like a decent little small group, and we were just clearing stuff bit by bit, and we were making pretty good progress until that happened. Okay, those two guys are buddies. So they're all quitting on the other side. So yeah, I think one of the problems we found out was it was linked to a flaw in the Jedi Consular Shadow Tank class. And literally, Shadow Tanks would get one shot, and nobody could figure out quite why they would. And it was a bug that didn't get fixed for, oh my gosh, it had to be over a year. Yeah, it didn't get fixed for a long time. And by that time, it's like it was already too late. That's why you don't play Hanzo. Because they call it Hanjo. Oh my gosh, their other team. Yeah. They had those quits really early on. Yeah, I don't feel like doing this because these guys are gonna quit and it's gonna be useless. Yeah, that's the problem. Too many leave and then there goes the match. uh, we were 6 months, maybe more, trying to do these fights, and we would just have to skip them and do some other raids because we just nothing you could do. And I had to actually switch because I was a shadow tank. I had to level up a guardian tank and get it geared, and so all of a sudden we had to stop our progression and level up a bunch of guardian tanks because we could not do it with shadow tanks. And the problem is we had a bunch of shadow tanks, so they kind of killed us. But that wasn't when we ended. We reached the point where they were not making new content. They were just rehashing old. Oh, well, here's the heroic mode, or here's the super nightmare mode. And we were doing some of the nightmare mode fights, and we were just like, you know what, this is stupid. Why are we putting up with this? This should be new content, not rehashing. That's all BioWare wanted to do, was rehash. So we kind of left, and the guild went their separate ways, and I didn't continue on MMOs. I mean, I was just kind of like, well, I've ran guilds for probably about 10 years, or ran raid teams for 10 years, so I'm tired of it. And I honestly got tired of some of the behavior of people. I mean, we had a guild alliance type set up where we were allied with some other guilds. They were really helpful. We did not infringe on each other. We kind of had a philosophy. It was like, you know what, we're not going to build a super mega guild because we cannot manage a super mega guild. Once it gets too big, you cannot manage big groups. It's better to keep the group small, keep multiple, and do like a guild alliance system. And so we had one, and one of our alliance guilds, they collapsed, and we were like, okay, well, you don't have enough players, and a lot of your players want to quit. Why don't you join us, and we'll just expand a little bit. That was our biggest fault. I mean, we tried to help these people out. We brought them in, and we really got along with them well for a while, but then it came down to Then it came down to this thing where the leader of the other group, the alliance, he started undermining the entire guild, and he started talking to people in his group and convincing them that they were better off leaving and following him. And see, this is the same philosophy that so many of these groups follow. They follow this philosophy of the grass is always greener. They got a very good defensive setup here. Now they got a bastion, so we need to draw it back. That's all you can kind of do in those situations. Just pull them back and just rely on your allies to do something. And because we lost all of our offensive attackers. Here's the problem. The rest of the guys, they rushed in ahead of the tanks, ahead of me. It's like, okay, I am the big guy that takes all the damage. You guys are not. And they went right into a bastion. They went right into two tanks that are swinging and smashing everything in sight. I kind of had to take that hit there. I needed him to be drawn to me. As long as I get the fire, it's fine. If I can focus that fire on me, draw the attack away. He was more focused on me than he was the DPS that was coming behind him. Bastion was the main danger, so. One problem this group has is. I don't think I'm going to change this up. I think we got some good pushing power here, and they haven't changed yet, so I'll ride this maybe a little bit more. And I'm taking some hits for these guys, but they're not doing very well with taking out the rest of this team. Oh yeah, focus on me. Good job, idiot. This is so stupid. He is not even caring about the flag carrier that was going right by. It was like, okay, you know, you could have stopped that flag carrier, knocked him down, and he spent all of his energy trying to worry about me, trying to get that kill. See, this is the difference between DPS players and CTF players. It's like, you DPS, you're focused on kills, and you don't know how to translate that into objective or strategy and how to take out flag carriers and keep them off. I mean, I was the distraction. Getting rid of me was not gonna really do much to hurt us. There's your payback. And they switched right at the end. Although I don't think a ball would have helped them at all. That was a lot of DPS power going in. I mean, you have Rocket Girl, you have a Junkrat, and you have another robot flying one. Yeah, that's a lot of firepower going in. So yeah, now, I've seen this type of behavior. Anyway, back on the Old Republic, I've seen this type of behavior in World of Warcraft too, where the grass is always greener. That's what they would use to convince people to leave their guilds and join the. Oh, we're gonna go kick butt. Oh yeah. So they would always join these other groups, and then the group would implode. And see, usually what happens is when you have a bunch of players that are just have a real ego, and typically the guys that would do this, they would have an ego that, oh, they're number one, everything's entitled to them. So they would draw other people into that ego. They would have this little bit of a charisma to them to do that. And they would always bring other people like that in. And so when you have everybody with egos, they always clash. They don't mesh. They clash all the time. And the whole group implodes. Usually it's like within 6 months they implode. So this happened to us. And they just, this guy that he basically backstabbed me, he backstabbed the rest of us and said, pretty much you guys suck. We're going to do a better thing. So within, I think it was 3 months was the most they lasted. And they convinced a lot of our players that, I mean, they weren't like raid team ready yet, but they were eventually going to be. They were ones that we were working on. We were trying to get them into the raids to get them experience so that they could do it. And so they convinced a lot of those people that, oh yeah, come with us, you will become raid team quality, you will become premier top. Oh yeah. They tricked them with all those words, and then literally within 3 months they basically they joined that guild, and then they decided, okay, all you guys suck, so you're not going to come with us. So they pretty much they backstabbed those guys, and then they left the server. They joined another server, and they said, well, everybody here sucks. We're going to go join like the main, like the big servers. Ooh, yeah, big servers. This is not pro enough for us. And of course, at that time, I mean, this is Old Republic, and it's collapsing. The content's not pro level type stuff. It's kind of getting worse and worse with time. But they went to another server, and I heard the stories maybe a year later or so. They go to the server, and their entire group, they literally collapse over there. They cannot cut it. So these guys that said that they were pro, that they were going to do all these wonderful things, they couldn't cut it in the area that was pro. And so they kind of got absorbed into all these other guilds. I've never heard from them. There was a couple of guys I kind of knew pretty well. I thought I knew very well, that kind of backstabbed me, would join that group. And yeah, in the end, you just kind of like, okay, Lord, this is humans. This is humans. This is what they do. Everybody is... it's a game, though. It's like... this is a game, and they want to bring their own little, like, mentality, their own little, like, yeah, I'm going to be the... okay, this group is going to suck. Yeah, lobies that do not know how to play CTF. I'll put up with healing them a little bit. In the end, though, I don't think I'm going to bother. Oh my gosh. This is definitely a low B match. These guys have no clue what they're doing. Oh, jeez. We have a Hanjo trying to cap. Yeah, that's a lot of lopies on both teams. They don't know what they're doing. Ah, well. I guess I'll just heal these people and figure it out as we go. Some deathmatch, guys. Yeah, they'll be fun. Kind of did that on purpose. Our flag's gonna be fine. somebody changed to a Lucio. That is just terrible. I think we're gonna. They switched to a tank. We don't have a good counter for that. Of course, it helps if they have a healer that works with the tank. If you don't have a healer working with the tank, you're not going to be able to do that.
Adaptive circuits engaged. Jump round. This will restore. Coalescence is almost ready. Surrender to my will. 30 seconds. Focus with me. The power of destruction. It was inevitable.
Pretty much all we have to do is just hold them right now. Prevent them from... Yep. Yeah, that was a handy May. I'll give him that. Pretty good, pretty good. Let's see, how many we have left? How many we have left? I haven't checked in a while. maybe 1 or 2 matches. I might just play on through and see if I can get this done tonight. So yeah, when you're looking at like experience, 1 match left. Okay, only need 1. When you're looking at experience like that in guilds, and it's amazing how terrible people can be. That was one of the reasons why our guild got actually really good. We attracted players that were hurt by a lot of these other guilds, because you have 2 types of major guilds that typically operate. You have your totalitarianism regimes. That means like everything is strict control, and oh my gosh, they treat everybody poorly. And then you have it's like a free for all mosh pit, and there's no real leadership. And usually what happens in the free-for-alls is they kind of gain like an internal guild within a guild at one point, like an internal team. And so they have thousands of members, but it's like one little team that's like kind of doing everything. And typically those guilds they survive for a time, mostly because they attract everybody. And they spend hours upon hours spamming like the spawn areas or like the starter areas trying to get players. And we kind of fit somewhere. We're going to stay small. We're not going to go big. We don't need to go big because we know if you get big, then it's hard to manage people. So we kept our group small. And we kind of did it like a benevolent monarchy sort of thing. Because this is one of the problems. I mean, if you switch ownership of the guild, there's always some issues that come up. And so it was kind of agreed upon that, yeah, I'm going to probably be the one that's going to stay in control. We'll have another guy that's like number 2, and I will rule by council leadership to a certain extent, but ultimately the final decisions are mine. Well, that's a good opening. We already got one of them. Why do they always go for that point? We gotta pull back. That was a beautiful. Now you wonder why I don't go in there. Because I don't need to right now. And because by the time I get in there, we're already going to have like a whole bunch of... Get that healer, get that healer. We gotta get that healer. We're losing. Just what I like to do is keep the fire going in, keep the pressure going in. Generally, somebody messes up with time. But if we can keep a good pressure on these guys... Yeah, we lost all support though. This will be the first time they've actually pushed us to our base. They're not doing very good. Honestly, that was the best solution there. He went after me instead of going after the rest of us, which were the bigger target. You want to take out the whole team. You don't want to take out a single tank. That was a bad move. That is literally the worst diva I've ever seen. Absolutely the worst. That's twice now they've done an ultimate that just completely failed. That was a mixture of some bad stuff there. They got their players back in time, and ours were more spread out. Another thing, we do not have healers. Yeah, they're breaching on this side. We really need to get some heals going here. I think I'm gonna switch to monkey. We need to change it up. We got a minute left. Yeah, that's a loss. Yeah, we're not gonna really do this. Now that he switches to a Roadhog, we really needed a Roadhog earlier. not having consistent healers at yeah. That is ridiculous that diva actually got the end thing. Her ults were terrible except for that one. There was only one ultimate they actually had that was any good. That's the final one. Oh, wow. What's our time on this right now? Okay, I'm gonna try to eke out one more, see if I can finish this. Yeah, let's get another level too. I think my ultimate favorite raid overall in Old Republic was probably like the initial one, yeah, we had to go to that frozen world, the frozen prison, and fight that guy, because that was a neat final fight. You had a multi-stage fight where you're like way up high and you drop down the levels and you have to fight him while he's taking out the floor underneath you, getting everybody to move with you, shift with you, and you're going down and down and down. Oh, that was a fun fight. We worked so hard at that one. Our guild was... Oh, yeah, we put in a lot of time trying to do that, and when we finally got him, we finally got everything perfect. Oh, everybody was so happy. We were just like... We were just glowing for days. We finished it. It was the first major raid in Old Republic, and... It was a good achievement. It felt good. It probably felt better than anything we accomplished in World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft, I mean, I did a lot of endgame stuff. I did a lot of major fights. I even got a war glaive for my rogue, and yeah, we did some big achievements, but it just never was like, okay, now what's next? I think probably the only thing that came close was maybe the Algalon fight in Lich King. Because that one I kind of took up myself, because my guild did not want to do it. They were just like, we're going to move on to the Argent Throne, the Argent Dawn event, and we're getting ready for Lich King. We don't have time to do Oldar or do the Algalon fight and do all that sort of stuff. And they didn't want to do it, so I had to gather some players that did want to do it, that wanted to see content. And I gathered some of the members of the guild that wanted to see it, so we did. And they weren't happy with me either. They were just... When I was doing that, and I was starting to see some success, and we got Algalon down, and we triumphed over it, all of a sudden I started taking a look and like, are you trying to leave the guild? Are you trying to, like, no, I don't care. I'm just wanting to do this content. You guys aren't going to do it, so I'll do it myself. It's nothing against you. I'm not going to leave you guys. I'm not going to ditch. It's just, I am not interested in... I mean, I can do all that same content, but I'm already geared. I've already got my stuff for Lich King. I'm ready to go, and so I wanted to do more of Oldar. We got so far into that, and that was the one problem with Blizzard. They kind of released content a bit too fast there. We were just really getting some good stuff in Oldar and getting into the hard modes and really doing some neat stuff there, and do a flank here. I think we got this. That's a full 6-man team. Okay, so this is one of those moments where a pug that's not even talking to each other is actually beating the crap out of a 6-man. And it happens. Yep, see, there went one. So is that a 6-man team that's really established strongly? Or is it a 6-man team that's just sort of gathered? fire from both sides now. Exclamation point time. Beautiful. Oh boy. Yeah, that was a decent healer. It was a good tank. That was funny. That's how it goes. You keep a very optimal control. You have your tank with the big shield. He's going slow. I have the gun going, keeping the firepower on. Yep. I am satisfied with that tonight. And I got my new skin. Let's get my last 2 loot boxes for this event. Oh, please, tiger. Nope, no tiger. Yeah. Let me see if this is the one that I was just on right now. Oh, that was an earlier one. Maybe it's this one. Oh, that was another. I guess I didn't get one for that one. Oh well. Okay. No giveaway tonight, so but stay tuned. We'll probably be doing another one of those. Maybe we'll do one once a week or so during our game streams. So stay tuned if you want a copy of All Is Fair in Dust and Air. This is for the Cathedral Story arc, which is in early access right now. I will not cover the other story arcs, so those are going to be compartmentalized or in individual things there. But anyway, so yeah, thanks for joining. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. All right, Johnny.